Calling you a kettle? Not quite sure what that means.
You know, that's very strange, Matrix, because I am a big fan of kitchenware, and I haven't heard them ever talk. AK perhaps reverting back into his El Risitas form, but he might need to stay sane for a while longer as he's looking down the arches, looking for a kill to get. Sees a couple. Oh, unfortunately gets eliminated by one of the ones he saw. Just was too scared to pull the trigger. Comes back, gets the revenge kill. Poker Ranger, though, managed to sneak up on him, but in comes AK getting his revenge again. It's just a revenge machine right now. Perfect headshot lined up on Box Magnet there. Can he kill Maple? Maple's bobbing and weaving. No, AK falls.
Doesn't quite.
Box Magnet going for new strategy. It's called crouch a bunch in place and hope no one notices you, but unfortunately not working out great for him. He's not gotten a ton of kills from this.
Doesn't seem to be as effective as possible. He does take out AK though, in very clean fashion.
Very concise plays we see from Box here. He doesn't waste time, you know? He knows what he wants and he goes for it. Sometimes it doesn't pay off and he just gets shot in the face, but it's very important that you try for these shots. Maple up to 70. AK and Box, though, struggling for that 3rd and 4th place, respectively. AK sitting at 4th.
Now they seem to be struggling against one another. Oh,
Box
and he
gets the upper
out.
hand.
He loses out, but
in comes AK for the revenge again. I tell you, this man has some kind of bot that when you kill him, he gets a revenge tracker and just comes right for you. No mercy, he says.
Back and forth
sniffs him out
against one another. Oh, and there
Poker Ranger gets drop shotted on his way by. AK's fine to bunny hop around a bit here. Kills
and
Box
there goes
with a
Box Magnet again.
Perfectly timed shot. Calculated the trajectory, visualize, then execute.
I don't take him lightly because he's so annoying. What the fuck?
And he absolutely misses on Box. They're trading shots back and forth, but
so much.
Doesn't seem to be able to land one as AK tries to get
hunting.
A little bit of extra position, but Box just seems to be out positioning. Oh, and
yet
it
AK
doesn't seem to
with the
matter.
superior sleep dart aim, though, comes in clutch, takes out Maple again. Box Magnet seemingly getting frustrated.
Oh, and
let's go to
AK
his comms and see what he has to say about the
there's-
match.
I didn't even know there was punching in this game. That's all my fault. I could have got it.
Seems Box is unaware of the mechanics of Overwatch, which is very interesting because he's played this game a lot more than I have. And, you know, he's actually had a coaching match.
He had a
He was
professional
told for
pay him
$70 that he sucks at the game.
And he just doesn't seem to be paying attention to this. AK takes him out once again.
Once more, just admitting defeat almost, it seems like.
Oh.
Oh, but now he's getting angry. He's lining up the shots, but G-Man comes from another dimension and just snipes him in the face.
Fuck.
AK can't connect on Box Magnet as he just runs up behind him and
is
tries to
Box
take him
Magnet
out.
using wall hacks?
But there it is, the revenge kill. I told you, Matrix. He's got that tracker.
Every time. AK really just putting the hurt into Box Magnet.
He does this
and
game, I swear.
Sneaky sound. Finally getting rid of.
Apparently can hit an enemy from 100 meters away between two arches, but can't hit someone who's standing still.
It's absolutely insane to me.
He's just taunting Box Magnet now.
And there it is.
The AD strafe.
AK seems to only really excel at those long-range shots, but then takes out Poker Ranger right in front of my face.
You know, it's those sleep darts you gotta watch out for, Matrix, at close range.
You know, we don't see Caster Blessing very much on these streams, but that seems to have been...
I hate these mind games.
Boca Ranger falling again. 5-player kill streak on AK. As I say that, I caster curse him and he goes down. No more caster blessing for you.
Box Magnet rotating around, looking down the hallway. Gets a kill on Big Yayo. Sees another. Can he get the kill? Seems to have been out-mind gamed, though. In comes an Ana on the railways. Goes for the sleep dart. Doesn't quite connect. Miss 100% of the shots.
You miss 100% of the shots.
That you get taken out of the lobby for.
And unfortunately, now we see them put into an actual game.
Oh my god.
You know, Lemon, this will seem so much more just exhausting and boring than watching them try
This
to
is
snipe
this is
one
why
another.
nobody liked playing against me in games, because I would just abuse the map geometry and never face somebody 1v1. I would go somewhere else as soon as you see me. I did it all the time.
AK trying to keep that muscle memory going. Switches to his Ana. Strong hero coming out from AK. He's got a lot of practice on this one. See Box Magnet coming in with his Reaper. One of his favorite heroes. We see him play this hero often, particularly on maps where he can really get behind and take out enemies from the back without being noticed. Hoping for those big tank frontliners that are going to keep the enemies occupied. AK looking at his profile.
Seemed to be a whole lot of that though.
Flexing his
It's-
437 hours on Ana. Might have been part of the reason he was doing well in that lobby, Matrix.
It's kind of bad how if you just look at the graph, the next hero is just like 100 hours, and it's like, okay.
Box Magnet knows his routes, knows where he can abuse sight lines, knows where he can take a fight or not take a fight.
Looks for
Seems the enemy have
a
noticed
shot
him,
on
though.
the high ground. Doesn't seem to be able to connect. Oh, he teleports up, but the enemy teleports away. He still gets the kill though.
No, it was actually the AK coming out with that Ana shot that finishes the blow, but fortunately Box put a little bit of damage in at least, so he gets that assist. Big healing coming out of the cart, but unfortunately the anti-nade from the enemy just stops AK in his tracks. Watching that high ground now. Reaper phasing around, trying to get into that backline again. Go for those plays I told you about, trying to get that pick from behind, but not paying attention to his surroundings. Perhaps there's an enemy behind him.
Doesn't seem to be able to connect in this kill, which is a little disappointing for someone of
Unfortunate.
his caliber.
But that Roadhog is
Tries to
tanky, comes
teleport in.
around, finishes the job. I was him going for another one of those big heroes he can just lay meaty shots into with those shotguns. AK doing something to his rifle that we won't talk about. Unfortunately, Box gets slept in the back, but no one there to really follow up on it. Just phase shift away. Says
Doesn't
no
seem to be
worries.
anyone really paying
Go
attention to him.
reset, just lay into the ball, and here we see him now going for the nano boosted soldier. Perhaps not the strongest engagement, but catches him on the corner. Well played there from Box. Rotating around, we see the Transcendence coming out, trying to stall that card out, but there's just so many heroes when the Transcendence is over. AK looking at his feet, trying to get that grenade, but unfortunately he used the grenade earlier in a team fight. Question is, can the
And,
cart be capped right now?
Just
Looking like a
doesn't seem to
yes.
be very effective strategy looking at your feet.
I've heard that it's not great, but when you have a grenade, apparently that changes. Especially if that grenade heals you instead of killing you. Box Magnet, he's ready to let her rip. Oh, but unfortunately he gets spotted out by the ball. Trying to flank and pretend like he was never there. Hoping for a big ultimate here, but fortunately the enemy team is playing like pansies and is just holding back. Smart play from them, but Box going in, goes on that Ana. She was so scoped in she didn't see him coming. AK healing in the back lines, keeping everyone alive. Frontliners pushing forward. Box coming back for a little bit of that healing. He knows that the ball's there. Keeping that 3 times on the cart, moving as fast as possible, but they forget about this mechanic every time and just leave one person pushing it. You know, you hate to see this happen, Matrix. You wish that at least
Really
one
do.
tank and a healer would stay on the cart.
Seems in objective-based games, no one really seems to pay attention to it.
It's okay though, the 2 healers though, unfortunately the mine's coming out. AK knows about the mine mechanic that you can disable them with grenades. Not a lot of people use that mechanic to their advantage, but unfortunately gets caught between a rock and a hard place. Gets taken out by the Moira.
I don't know. It seems like he was caught between a ball and a hard place.
You know, Matrix, sometimes we mix our metaphors, but I think that one's apt. Here we see the Reaper in the back lines looking for a big ult coming out from the Reaper right now. Takes out the Moira. Doesn't really do much
Doesn't
else
seem to
with
be
it,
able to connect on
unfortunately.
Too many more people.
You see the
Is
Pharah come
able to
in.
take that duel.
Unfortunately, gets taken out by his mirror match there on the Reaper. Saw him come in. Wanted the kill. Was thirsty. AK bunny hopping around. Checking the high ground, making sure no one's
I
there.
don't understand
Looking
what's
for
happening.
a big nano boost coming in. Fortunately, he's feeling like there might be someone who drops down on him eventually, but... Fox swapping over to Soldier, going to that high ground. Won't have the visor for nano boost, but... Perhaps AK can boost one of his tanks instead. Big Graviton coming out.
Not able
Followed
to
up by
connect
the
too
Moira
many of his
ultimate, but-
shots.
Shield's in the way there. Moira low, but AK keeps her alive. Watching that hammer. Sleep dart off cooldown. Might need it on the Reaper here, but misses the sleep dart. Doesn't have his nade ready, but fortunately his team is there to back him up. Takes out the Reaper. Fox Magnet getting killed on the high ground there by an Echo. Anti-heal out on the Zarya, but AK doesn't mind because she's not taking a ton of damage. Manages to top her off after the point. They're going for the point now. Reinhardt sitting on it with his Reaper. AK still holding on to this nano boost. Makes you wonder if he's waiting for Chinese New Year. Is taken out by the Soldier on the high ground.
Fox just doesn't seem to be able to win too many of these duels.
Unfortunately, that Echo coming out, very strong hero against DPS heroes. Fox Magnet, 80% on that nano boost. I mean, visor that he has. Definitely not a nano boost. There's no nano boost on Soldier. Perhaps he's hoping for a nano boost on Soldier, though, as he's closing in rapidly on that last 4% for his ultimate. He has the ultimate. Might be a coordinated play here between Box on this Soldier. The Ana. Box waking up asleep in Roadhog.
Yeah, I tried.
Ana finishes the job there with a little help from the Echo. Still holding the nano boost. A nano visor from the backlines could be incredibly strong. AK knows there's an enemy in the rafters. Keeping an eye
Don't
on
seem
it.
to care.
Sleeps the ulting Soldier. What a beautiful play from the Ana here. Dodges the nade. And their nano visor coming out very strong. Doesn't seem like he actually nano boosted the visor. Dueling now the enemy Ana. Getting low.
Oh my god, dude.
Really?
Seems to be unfortunately caught out. Can't quite get to the point. Teammate's dead. Not a lot you can do. They capped a point and a half, though. The enemy team's going to have to push quite a distance if they want to win this match. Hoping not to steamroll here. AK fashion framing a little bit. Trying to strike fear into his enemies' hearts with the superior fashion sense.
You know, I don't know if there's anything more fearsome than seeing a Wasteland player charging right at you. Although I think a clown might be a little bit more terrifying.
It's possible.
Then again,
Box Magnet going for that Reaper again. We have that precision hero coming out from the Ash, so seems like you can afford a little more meaty damage, close range if you will, coming out from Reaper instead.
you know, AK being the clown that he is, seems very appropriate that he chose that skin.
I think that's supposed to evoke a demon Matrix, but close enough.
You know, I wouldn't really compare AK to a demon. I think clown is a more apt description.
We see Box and the ball waiting on that high ground, perhaps hoping that the enemies recognize there's a ball up there. They won't know that there's a Reaper up there as well. Doesn't seem to have any flying heroes. It's AK laying down death from above here. Box Magnet watching the high ground. Sees a Reinhardt in deep, putting some chunky shots into him. Campbell's soup can't be chunkier than this. Tracer up on the high ground, coming up for AK there. I was wrong, it's a Sombra. They're both thin little women, it's hard to tell. Sombra going for the, oh, beautiful sleep on an invisible Sombra. If he nades now, he might get the kill. Instead, he opts to save it.
Did you actually sleep in invisible Sombra?
I mean, she invised right in front of me.
Seems the payload has been completely stopped.
Yeah, fortunately, not a steamroll coming out so far. Box looking for a drop down. Unfortunately, gets spotted by the Roadhog. Now they have a Pharah. This is what I was worried about with the Reaper pick.
They're coming behind us.
Not a lot you can do against a Pharah with that lineup, but teleports over to where the Pharah is spawned. But
Where'd she go?
Pharah
Doesn't
just
seem to be able to find her. There it is.
manages to get that kill. Dropping down on the Ana now. Unfortunately getting healed by the Moira ball that came out. Not a lot Box can do about that. Teleports up to the high ground, takes that health kit. Payload, meanwhile, has been completely stalled out. A lot of tanks coming out. Holding that point, AK, what a beautiful lance. 3 shots on the Moira,
My bad.
On some random hero that
on the
doesn't
Pharah.
seem to be in the game anymore.
She has just been, like, her character model got deleted after those 3 shots that AK just hit. Enemy team pushing
Honestly,
forward.
that player should just uninstall.
Box Magnet looking from behind, but unfortunately they know he's there. Seems to be
Doesn't seem to
solo.
be able to find an angle.
There's now a Symmetra on the enemy team, trying to laser him down, but Box knows where the health kits are. Ball comes in to help him. But Symmetra escaped, but left her turrets up top. Drops down with the ultimate. Manages to get the Symmetra, but not much else. Fortunately, the Ana hid behind the cart. AK laying in some serious shots in this Ana right now. Putting damage on the cart. Throws out that anti-nade, but the shield blocks it. Looking now for just a small, just a crumb of health, he says. Nano boosts the Roadhog coming out here. Goes the double healing nade on him, trying to get some more kills.
Payload doesn't seem to be able to move, and they only have a minute left to get it to where they
Sleeps
need
the
it.
Roadhog. Hoping that nobody wakes him back up.
You know,
Box
that'd
coming
be
in with
pretty
big kills in the backline here. Takes out both DPS players. Looking now at the tanks. Payloads rolling forward, but stalled out by the big fat body of that Roadhog. And AK again down to a sliver of health, but just survives. That superior map knowledge coming out. Bunny hopping out back, waits for the health kit. Knows one more spawns here.
And there's only 30
Right now.
seconds remaining.
That's right, 30 seconds left on the clock. If the enemy team can actually push in and cap this point, they'll get a little more to finish out their round, but it's looking unlikely as AK hits a sleep dart. Box Magnet shifted around in the team fight, but getting lasered down by this Moira. Fortunately, an ally Moira holding him back.
McCree left house. McCree left house. Oh, right house.
And overtime
AK.
comes out.
Low health, but holding his own.
Reaper on me. Reaper on me. Oh, I just used sleep
High
dart.
noon.
Fuck.
But High Noon takes out 2. Box Magnet and AK both down. This might be the point where the enemy team captures the point, but that ball just stalling forever. And now it seems they will finally capture the point. Team trickling in might not be the best strategy for them. AK taking a fight with this McCree, but unfortunately McCree just has the superior firepower.
And 2.5 minutes back on the clock. We'll see if they manage to pull this one out.
AK gets fanned the
Free in
hammer in the
church.
back line. McCree is in the church, he
They're
calls
going
out.
behind.
We know that McCree just used that High Noon, but if he can get in the back line, he can still mess some stuff up. Box Magnet perched above, looking for another big ultimate here. I am the Beyblade, he says.
Beyblade
in,
is
but-
me.
Few enemies he can kill, perhaps this Ana, but he's worried about that sleep dart coming out as soon as he ulties. Now he's caught in a bad position. Fortunately, he gets lasered down before he can finish it. AK putting in as much work as he can to try to heal through that healing nade, but unfortunately, the anti-heal effect of it seems to have stopped all healing. Box
You know,
Magnet
I had
moving
no
up to the
idea
high
that's
ground.
how that mechanic worked.
Enemy team has a minute now. Got to push that payload just up the hill, but Reaper in the back lines unfortunately takes out AK, but there's another hero up top, the Ash, sitting on
Oh,
very
and
low
Box
HP.
dropping down with an ultimate. Gets 2.
Come
Put
back,
some
Fox. You're on
decent
the wrong
damage
side.
in.
Nano boosted Reinhardt there.
I
Gotta
got
watch
you,
out for
I got
him.
you, I got you.
He's backing up, going up to the high ground. Looking to drop down on him again, perhaps. Just pepper them with sprays from above.
And 42
God.
seconds remaining on the
God.
clock. The objective is contested.
Looking
And
very
Box
close here.
gets
Box
stunned.
Magnet gets stunned, but big heals coming out from AK. And big shots, but unfortunately the coalescence from Moira coming out heals him right back up instantly.
Fox, can I hear you?
My God.
Box Magnet
There's a
looking for
McCree
a big
inside.
kill, but perhaps it would be
Can you
better if
contest?
he just were to go to the objective instead. AK sleeps the McCree, hits him with the Wombo combo, nothing he can do. Put a little razzle dazzle on it. There's no buybacks in this game. Big team fight coming out with that nano boost. Might see a Reaper ultimate here, but seems he's been taken out in an overtime. Points contested, but
Ana.
seems like most of the
Gonna
enemy
have
heroes
to
are
hold
dead.
here.
You see Box finishing off that Ana, and there's no enemy in sight. It seems they have successfully held the point. And Team AK Box Poker Ranger wins again.
That was some insane fucking shit I was doing there.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I juggled that Reaper at the first point so many times. Oh, Lord. Hog wasn't getting picks. The only reason I did that was to have a ridiculous amount of, like, EHP that they have to burn through. Just make him a massive target. It's the only thing I cared about, because as soon as I nano him, they shoot him, and then we have free reign to kill everybody else, as long as we were getting flank Kree and flank Reaper out of the way. What time is it? Alright. I'm probably gonna have to go. This is my last one.
You see AK
That's nice.
rage quitting the match after winning. That's not something you see every day.
It's nice knowing you ladies.
Aw. One more game.
Don't party too hard.